It's Talk Point again on Lagos Television, and you are happy. We are very, very happy to have you join us. Today on Talk Point, we'll be looking at our roads. We need safety on Lagos roads and also all over Nigeria. Safety is key to whatever that we need to do. So we'll be looking at that today. But before we look into that, we know that despite efforts of government to ensure that the roads are free and better, we still have carnages, we have accidents on the road, and this is not good. It's not a good development, and some of these accidents are actually avoidable. But we'll be looking at that. I have a guest in the studio that will be doing analysis with me on that. But before I introduce him, let's quickly take a short break, then we will come back. Please stay tuned. You're welcome back to Talk Point again on Lagos Television. I have a guest in the studio, and he's Yinka Aderibigbe. He's a media practitioner with specific reference to transport sector. He has very vast knowledge in that area. Yinka, nice to have you on Talk Point again.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rosanwo, for inviting me. It's nice joining you in the studio on this very touchy topic.
Yes, I saw it in my introduction. Despite efforts of government to ensure that accidents reduce, we still have some unavoidable accidents on our roads, and it's a kind of worrisome situation. With specific reference, just less than 2 weeks back, we had a serious accident on Papa Oshodi Expressway where a container fell around Itere area and Sele area. And created problems. Then we also have another one that happened on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I understand that also created a bottleneck. It was a standstill, and there were a whole lot of bottlenecks around because people couldn't travel out of Lagos, and those coming in, yes, had a hectic time because some were actually going on one way. Now, looking at some of these things, why do we still have, or we still record these unavoidable situations?
I think the issue of accidents on our roads are multifaceted. You know, there are issues relating to poor infrastructure. There are issues relating to poor driver awareness. There are issues relating to poor enforcement by traffic enforcement agencies. There's also the angle of the poor awareness of the road users generally. And until we address all of this, we may continue to have carnage on our roads. Don't forget, accidents are unpredictable developments or incidents that change the course of one's journey or one's experience on the road. The road is a very interesting aspect of our life. It does not forgive. So you need to use it with care. The road is that leveler between the rich and the poor. It is that connects all of us. Not many uses the airports. Not many will find themselves on the waterways. But the most traditional of it all, that even Adam and Eve used, when they moved out of the Garden of Eden, they did not use airplane. They walked out of the garden. So that is the most abused. That has been the most neglected.
The road.
The road. And that is supposed to be the new focus. And indeed, I think for a state like Lagos, it is the focus of the Things Plus agenda. You need to begin to repurpose the road for efficiency. And that is addressing the first leg of what I said earlier, poor road infrastructure. If you look around you, hardly would you see roads that are efficient for purpose. Many of them are riddled with potholes, many with craters, and it does seem nobody cares whether you use it well or your experience using the road does not really touch anyone. Most of the time, VIPs using those roads often wind up. So they are ensconced in air-conditioned containers called vehicles. So they don't have a feel of the experience while using those roads, if they ever at all. They don't have the common man experience of the trauma of leaving the road and leaving their different houses by 4 a.m., for instance, and getting back by 12 a.m. just because the road was bad. So imagine what you will unlock if the roads are good. It's a major part of the crisis because people are often fatigued and they use the road every day. A fatigued driver is an accident waiting to happen. The second leg is poor enforcement of our traffic laws. Lagos is trying. How I wish other states join Lagos in the rapid advocacy for street enforcement on the roads. Just last week, the director of VIS was out arresting rickety vehicles and even urging you and I, if you see one, report it so that they go after them. If you take a sample of vehicles on the road today and take the quantum of study about how many of them are actually fit for the roads, you will be shocked.
That brings me to...
That's an accident itself.
That brings me to this question. Since you touched on it, I think it was wise we just mention it. Now, okay, are there no measures in place to check rickety vehicles? Why do we have, because I know there's a system going on in place, particularly in Lagos, where you have your vehicles going for checking when you're renewing your papers, your particulars. Now, at that point, shouldn't rickety vehicles be checked or be gotten at that point? And most times, do we find this kind of people go there to take their vehicles for checkup?
Well, there are what we call what we are referring to as the computerized vehicle inspection centers.
Yes.
Yeah, all states of the Federation at least have one now, and there are several in Lagos. But for that, perhaps the population of rickety vehicles would have been more on the roads, But how I wish other states actually join Lagos in the advocacy for cleaning up of the roads against these vehicles. Long were the days, it's got long gone now, when even on Lagos Road you have smoky vehicles. I don't know whether you remember the turn of this millennium.
I think, from what we're seeing.
From wherever you turn, you hardly see the clear...
Smoky vehicles have reduced.
They've reduced because there was a clampdown on them.
But we still have smoky diesel articulated vehicles on the roads. We still see them. Yes, mostly in the night.
Exactly.
You find them plying in the night.
Exactly.
Can't
in fact,
something
some
be done?
don't even have headlamps, and yet they just have just one big headlamp that they converted to. These are issues. It's not as if the government is not doing enough or not doing at all, but maybe they are not doing enough. What we need to do is to see other states join Lagos If Lagos is cleaning up, but other states are coming into Lagos every day, then the efforts of Lagos will be wasted, will not be seen. So other states must also be strong in ensuring that vehicles operating in their domains are also fit for purpose, fit for the roads. Otherwise, if they go to service centers like Lagos, bringing people in and out of Lagos, they will make a mess of the state that Lagos is. And that's what we continue to find.
Yeah, that brings me to the issue of the Federal Road Safety Corps in this area, the FRSC. Is it not their responsibility, because they do interstate, they do outside states, and they also go into states, also intra, to get things done? Yeah, what is their mandate? Because I know the mandate of LASMA is just for free flow of traffic, not to apprehend vehicles. VIO does that to check vehicles. But what is the mandate of the FRSC? Because I know they have a mandate in that direction.
Yeah, it's one of the mandates of FRSC to ensure that vehicles on the road are meant for the road. They are good for the road. But the agency of government that is sitting on that mandate are the VIS, the Vehicle Inspection Service, which we call the VIOs.
That's for Lagos.
They are all over the states.
Yeah, they also have in Ogun State. They have
all over the
but
states.
Are they really doing what is right?
That is what we are advocating, that all states must be strong. They all have it. All the states of the Federation have a VIS office. There is a director sitting on that agency all across the states. They do meet for peer review. So at their meetings, let them agitate that all that their colleague state directors are strong in the areas of enforcement. Because if you don't enforce, you make things difficult for states that are doing so. Abuja is strong, Lagos is strong, and maybe you see Port Harcourt, but other states. So you need to ensure that all the state directors of VIS are top-notch. They are doing the work and they are enforcing. Now, if that happens, you're likely going to see much less of these kind of things on the road, because they will be able to nip in the bud. They will be able to identify, they will be able to pull those vehicles back, they will be able to ensure that the drivers or the owners of the vehicles address the issues that were discovered as crisis in those vehicles before releasing them back on the road. There's no point arresting or impounding a vehicle only to, make an arrangement with the driver and get the vehicle released. That's a potential accident.
If it's not repaired.
So all of those things need to be put into consideration, and they need to be urgently done. Because you cannot really determine who next will be involved in the next time. It may be a neighbor, it may be a relative, it may be a brother, it may be a wife, it may be a spouse. So we need to ensure that we keep the road safe. And it's a responsibility of all.
Okay. Okay, we have some roads that are in different categories. We have the Trunk A road, which belongs to the federal government, the central government. Yeah. We have the Trunk B roads, which are for the states. Yeah. Then we also have the Trunk C roads, which are for the local governments. Yeah. Now, all these roads are supposed to be managed by officials and personnel of these agencies to ensure that things go right. Now, how can we further make these roads more motorable and also to reduce carnages? Because this is very key too.
Yeah, again, on this area, I think Lagos must be given a pat on the back. It's a major pillar of the agenda of the government, the Themes Plus agenda. Expansion of roads, removal of junction points to expand the road, to make it more amenable to process
Yes,
more vehicle demand,
reducing
reduces
roundabouts.
Exactly.
Putting in junctions.
Exactly. So all of that are in the pipeline. They are work in progress on major roads. You also see them work almost around the clock on the roads, especially dry times before the rain. They are always out. You have the Public Works Corporation doing that, filling the roads, repairing them, making them fit for use. Now, if you have all of that, I think areas that are lacking for now is that many parts of the roads are yet to speak to drivers. You see, the way we construct roads here, the roads are not speaking. There are no signages. You don't know when to slow down, whether there's a bump ahead, whether there's a corner somewhere, or whether there's something you need to be aware of. The roads are blind. They are dumb to a driver. Most of the time, you will have hit the point before you see that, oh, there's something here. That needs to be looked into. Lagos State and other states for that matter, including the federal, because we are talking of all the categories of road, must ensure that the road speaks to us. Kudos to the Lagos State government that has installed speed limiters, electronic police cameras to ensure limiting speeding and all of that, because it's a way to go. You need to know which areas of the state you can speed at what point, and if you go beyond that, there is a penalty to pay. No, those are the kind of things we need going forward. By the time all of this begins to be put in place, you see that many more drivers will drive responsibly. There is that aspect of the leg to what we are also considering, which is driver awareness. Drivers need to know how to be defensive on the road. You don't need to make or just to use the road irresponsibly. The driver or his vehicle is just one of the units of those of road users per time. There are other road users. The man living with disability has a right to be on the road. The pedestrian has a right to be on the road. The hawkers have a right to use a portion of the road. But all of these we are not taken into account as the driver uses the road. He just feels, and because the roads were not built for purpose. Many a time what you see is that, okay, we have expanded the road to a 2-lane both ways, and then
no sidewalks.
You understand? No sidewalks for protecting. No point at which you have zebra crossing. No point at which you have safe points for people to even cross the road. Nothing of that nature. People just cross the road and walk in between moving traffic, expecting that the driver would see them and then take precaution not to hit them. This is not how to use the road responsibly. Yes, the government is doing so much, but more still needs to be done in ensuring that the road speaks to each of the users at any time.
Okay, I'd like to ask you this question. As a media practitioner and one that has spent over 20 years in reporting, and mostly specifically reporting transport situations in Nigeria. Now, how would you compare what we used to have in the last 15, 20 years compared to what we're having now? Because I know that some roads now come with medians, some roads come with walkways, some come with street lights. Now, when did that trend change? Because we used to have we have given you roads, and that's it. When did that trend change?
I think the trend changed in the second half of the first decade of this new millennium, somewhere around 2010.
Okay.
Deliberately in Lagos with the activities of Lamata. That was the Special Purpose Vehicle Agency set up by the government to coordinate its interventions in transportation and transport infrastructure. They started building roads that were fit for purpose, fit for use. One of them is the one close to you here, the Acme Road, that links up to Agege there.
Yeah, are you saying
from that first gate?
Yes.
To Mobile filling station.
Okay.
It was specially, you remember that area used to be a
Wemco
very flooded area.
Wemco Road, not Acme.
Wemco Road.
Wemco Road.
Wemco Road. You know, so one of those is that road, and there are many like that in Lagos today. You know, roads need to be modernized. Our roads. I think that Lagos State is trying. Many more states are joining. I was in Oyo State a few days ago. I saw what is also going on in Oyo State. Ogun State is trying to also reap the benefit of the transformation in Lagos and also doing a lot now concerning roads. So we want to see other state governments also helping Lagos State to, because if Lagos is doing well and your states are not, you are going to burden Lagos. And that is actually what is happening. And except that they do what they need to do in their own areas, they will continue to give Lagos a major problem. Don't forget that in the last, at the turn of the millennium, we were barely 15 million people.
Yes, I thought that
right now, we are 23 million and growing.
Yeah, but then...
So the volume of people using the roads are more now than before.
But before now, we used to have, I remember the current president of Nigeria, who was the governor of Lagos State then, constructed some major roads that had walkways, street lights, and you can mention Oregon Road.
Exactly.
You can mention Itere Lawansin Road. You can also mention Ikotun Igodo Road.
Yeah.
These are some of the roads that I credit will be given to.
15 roads that were also delivered by Ambode.
Even the current government is putting up so
much.
Yes, in doing this now, as we round up now, what advice do you have for the government? And the people, because they are the ones using it. The government will always provide roads, people will make use of them, then how do we maintain them?
Government needs to do more roads, whether at federal, state, or local governments. They need to palliate the ones that are existing, put street lights there, road light up the area, and then do road signages. But above all of this, even the users themselves, the drivers, the motorists, need to be more responsible using the roads. We are irresponsible set of people as motorists. A lot of the time you see that many of the bottlenecks we have are as a result of abuse of the road in the area of learning discipline, driving against traffic and all of that. Yes. We need to address that. If we do, a lot of what we are facing on the road will be off.
Yes, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Yinka Adebigbe, for being part of Talk Point. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, on that note, we have come to the end of Talk Point. 767 and 112 are still the lines always call in time of emergency. Stay out of trouble. Ensure that you contribute your own quota to the development of Lagos and also Nigeria. Stay safe and also pay your tax regularly so that more development can always come. I am Omololu Sonwu, signing out.